We got to mention again our sponsors. Richie mentioned this morning, but we couldn't do this meal without all these sponsors. They have tables set up out in the lobby area, so definitely take some time, meet with them, talk with them. It's good that we have a full crowd and we have a good bit of sponsors, because that means people are still interested in growing cotton this year. So if we could give all our sponsors a round of applause. Without them, we'd probably be eating peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, so definitely thank them. We have a guest speaker for lunch. I'm going to have Mike Lucas, our chairman, come up and introduce our guest speaker. Then after that, we'll have the quality awards. But right now, Mike, our chairman, will come up and introduce our guest speaker. Mike is a producer from Blakely County.
Thanks, Chris. In case y'all haven't been reading the ag news lately, back in the 1st of January, we got a new American Farm Bureau president, which is Mr. Zippy Duval. And I know us in the cotton industry are looking for great things out of the American Farm Bureau. But when that took place, we had to fall back to our first vice president, which is Mr. Gerald Long from Decatur County. And Mr. Gerald, he's a row crop farmer. He has a vegetable operation. He has cattle and he has timber. And we're looking for real good things out of Mr. Gerald. And I've served with Mr. Gerald at Farm Bureau on several occasions, and I know he's the right man for Georgia. Mr. Gerald, let's give Mr. Gerald a warm welcome. And Mr. Gerald, come on.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate those comments. My name is Gerald Long, as Mike said, president of Farm Bureau. As Mike also stated, my son, which is partnered with my oldest son, Justin, we are a diversified operation in Decatur County, growing cattle, peanuts, vegetables, which is sort of a unique U-pick operation, about 120 acres of U-pick vegetables. So I deal with the public quite a bit, And I am a cotton grower, we are. We've just had a very exciting time within Farm Bureau. On January the 12th, Zippy Duval, the past president now, Georgia Farm Bureau, was elected American Farm Bureau president. Obviously, this is a very, very important for us in the southern agriculture. Cotton will have not only a friend but an advocate in Washington to provide support to the National Cotton Council, the Southern Cotton Growers, and others speaking on behalf of cotton. Georgia Farm Bureau, we appreciate its relationship with the Cotton Commission, and I want to thank the Commission for their work representing cotton over the years. As most of you know, Marvin Ruark serves on our board, and he served on the Georgia Cotton Commission for nearly 40 years. And we want to thank Marvin for doing that. We have a number of major issues confronting us as we prepare for the 2016 crop year. As we heard here today, cotton remains a challenge, and the low 60s is simply unacceptable to us, and we all know that as producers. And China continues to be a problematic for us. But Georgia Farm Bureau and American Farm Bureau, we will continue to support allowing the cotton seed to be classified as an oil seed. At the encouragement of Georgia and most of the other southern states, this was passed at the Voting Delegates Convention at a session at American Farm Bureau Convention recently in Orlando. While there are obstacles to overcome, we're pushing this concept forward with the support of others. We're very disappointed in President Obama's veto of the joint Senate Resolution 22 disapproving it. The waters of the U.S., 92 members of Congress, 22 states, numerous cities and counties, and dozens of allied industry groups have all stood up and said no to this rule. Georgia Farm Bureau members alone sent in over 17,000 comments in opposition to this rule. Georgia Farm Bureau has worked hard to stop this overreaching authority of the EPA. We may have other opportunities to stop it later in the year. We simply need fewer regulations on the farm, not more of them, as we all are very aware of that. In closing, I want to pledge to the cotton producers and the cotton leadership that we will continue our close working relationships. You know, please call on me or our staff, Don Magoo. Y'all all know him at any time. You know, cotton is very important to all of us. And we promise that we will work together to move this industry forward. Again, thank you for inviting me. I look forward to working with you and the industry. Mike, thank you for what y'all do. Thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for being here. And we thank you, Mr. Gerald. Look forward to working with you in the future. Before we move into the quality awards, we're going to do a quick drawing. When y'all came in, Miss Martha handed y'all a raffle ticket. So, Dr. Shirley, you want to go ahead and come up here and pull the name so I don't get, it's not on my back. So we have 3 drawings, 2 $250 gift certificates, as well as a $500. So for one of the 250s, last 4 numbers 8359. 8359. Anybody here with 8359? Should be somebody here. 8359. Going once. Red ticket. All right. Pull another one. Last 4, 8371. 8371. Yeah, come on down. Another one for another 250. Set that down. Last 4, 8317. 8317. Yeah, Mr. Billy, come on down. And for 500, last 4 is 8504. 8504. Come on for a $500 gift card. Nobody? 8504. All right, we'll try another one. 8320. 8320. Yeah, Mr. Wavell. Yeah. That's right. No, you won. And now we're going to move into the quality awards. As y'all know, the Cotton Commission, Bayer Crop Science, and the cotton team have sponsored this to recognize cotton producers. And Dr. Shirley's going to take us into the quality awards now. This mic.
Okay, thank you, Chris. Also, before we begin, I want to take the opportunity to thank the Georgia Cotton Commission. There are several other members of the UGA cotton team in here, and I want to let all of you know how much we appreciate what the Cotton Commission does. They provide a lot of support for us, and you know, we couldn't do what we do on behalf of the growers for y'all. without the support of the Georgia Cotton Commission. So we greatly appreciate all that they do for those of us that work with the University of Georgia. We appreciate what they do. I want to give you a little bit of background, as we always do, on kind of how these awards work. I want to thank our sponsors, of course, the Georgia Cotton Commission, and also Bayer Crop Science. Josh Mayfield is here representing Bayer, and I think this is 9th or 10th year at least that we've done these. And both the commission and Bayer have been gracious enough to sponsor these, and we do appreciate their sponsorship. To kind of give you what we do, we've got the state, we took the state and we break it down into 4 regions, and you can see here what those are. And within each of these regions, we have 3 acreage categories: less than 500 acres, 500 to 1,000, and then over 1,000. And basically the way the process works, we start with the gin, and we ask the gins in each of these regions to participate and to nominate 3 of their producers, 1 in each of these categories. Producers that would fall in each of these acreage categories. Find us the best cotton in your gin that came through each of these acreage categories. And then, so we've got 12 possible awards. I thought what I would do, because in a crowd this size, and I don't want to take too much time here, we've got other sessions this afternoon, but I thought it might be good to give everybody kind of a rundown of what we're talking about when we mention about quality. As I go through the nominations and talk about the winners, you will see me mention most of these things about each of the winners. And there are 6 or 7 different categories here that we consider when we look at fiber quality. The first is color. Color is going to be a 2-digit number. That 2-digit number represents the brightness and the whiteness of the cotton. For example, it'll be a 41 or a 31 color grade. But you'll have a 2-digit color grade. You want that first number to be a 4 or lower. The lower that number, 432, the better the cotton is. You want that second number to be a 1. You don't want it to be more than a 1. You want it to be a 1. If it's a 2 or higher, that signifies that the cotton head is not bright. It's a little more yellow, it's a little more gray, it has stain, it's discolored. So that's the color grade, and it's a 2-digit number. You want the first number to be a 4 or less, and you want that second number to be a 1. You then have a leaf grade. This is the amount of cotton. This is not grass or bark or weeds. It's the amount of cotton plant, leaf material, that is still left in the lint sample after the cotton's ginned. And you want that leaf grade to be no larger than the first grade on the color grade. So if that color grade's a 31, you want that leaf grade to be not more than a 3. If it's more than a 3, that's going to be a deduct. So we want the leaf grade to be equal to or less than the first digit on the color grade. Staple is measured in 32nds of an inch. This is the length of the fiber. Specifically, it's the average length of the longest 1/2 of fibers in the sample. So just think about it this way. If we had a sample of 100 cotton fibers, we take the longest 50 out of that 100, and we average the length of those 50. So staple is not the average length of the whole sample, it's the average length of what we call the upper 1/2 percentage, or the longest 50%. And you want that staple to be a 34 or longer. 34 is the standard, that's 1 1/16 of an inch. But you want it to be a 34 or longer. And as we go through the winners and you look at this, you'll be amazed at some of the numbers that we've been able to do and how the industry has changed just in the last 2 or 3 years. Uniformity measures the consistency of the length in those fibers. If I had 100 fibers there, I took the longest 50 of them and averaged them, that would be the staple. But if all 50 of those fibers were the same length, the uniformity would be 100. So uniformity measures the consistency in the length of the cotton fibers. And again, you want that to be at 82 or 82% or higher. Strength, this measures the force that's needed to break those fibers. In the classing office, they take that sample, they comb it out, they connect it to clamps, and they pull it, and they measure the force that it takes to break that bundle of fibers. That's the fiber strength. And you want that to be at least a 29 or higher. Mills around the world are requiring higher and higher strength cotton as they move to higher spinning technologies. Micronair measures the thickness of the cotton. Okay? You want that number to be, you don't want it to be over a 4.9, and you don't want it to be less than a 3.5. Micronair measures the thickness of the cotton fiber, and that micronair characteristic affects the ability of the cotton to accept dye and color and to hold that dye. So that's micronair. And then lastly, you've got extraneous matter, and that's basically anything that's not supposed to be there. And it'll be grass, bark. We had a problem this year with seed coat fragments, which we hardly ever see. But it was a problem this year. You'll have oil, you'll have plastic, and there's something called prep. Prep is not an extraneous matter, but prep is basically how the sample looks. If it looks all matted up and gnarly and just didn't get in the bale looking good, that's called prep. So it's not a foreign matter, it's just how the cotton looks, whether it looks like it came out well. So again, that's just a little educational background for you. The other thing is that cotton is valued or purchased in a bundle. We don't just look at one thing. If I were a cotton buyer, or if I'm a mill looking for cotton, I want the cotton to be the right combination of everything. Here's an example here. You might buy cotton, you might want cotton that's a 31 with a 3-leaf and a 36 staple. And again, you see the specifications on mic and strength and so forth. Cotton is bought kind of in a bundle for a combination of these characteristics. Now, the reason I bring this up is because as we go through the winters this year and you look at this, this was a very difficult year to have everything fall out the right way. You might be good on strength, you might be good on micronair, but the color grade might be off. Or you might be good on color, or you might be good on mic, but the uniformity was low, or the strength was low, or the mic was high. So cotton is kind of purchased in a bundle of characteristics. I'm going to skip over that. Let's get to the winners, and as we, I'm going to ask either Richie or Chris, whoever wants to come up and represent the commission, and Josh, if you would, represent Bayer. And guys, we start on the left there with Region 1. You've got the grower awards in the front, and then the gin awards right behind it. And we kind of move this way, Region 1, 2, 3, 4. And some of the gins have multiple grower winners, so if you're a gin and some of your growers won 2 awards, you only get 1 plaque, but it's got all the growers' awards listed on it. So you won't necessarily have a gin plaque for every award, but you should have all the grower plaques there. Let's look at Region 1, which you see here is kind of on the west side of the state, which excludes the southwest corner. And let's start with less than 500 acres. This winter had a premium of a little over 3.5 cents. and 88% of the cotton grade staple 37 or better. Try to remember back what we talked about in the quality characteristics now. 37 is very good. Had 82% of the cotton that was a color 31 or better, and 41% of the crop was uniformity 83 or better. This is all in Region 1, the 500 acre category. And the winner there is Isaac Neesmith from Turner County, and that cotton was in at Scotland's. And the county extension agent up there in Turner is Will Gray. I know I've seen, who's here from Scotland? I know they said they would be here. Okay, here we go. Okay. Y'all come on up. Let's give them a hand. We'll probably take some pictures outside, kind of some group pictures and stuff afterwards, so y'all kind of hang around after we get through, and we'll have some more pictures taken. Okay, thank y'all. We did not have a nomination in Region 2 from the 500 to 1,000 acre category, but we did, like I said, in the others, and had plenty of competition in all of these. We just didn't happen to have anybody in the middle group here. So if we go to the 1,000, the more than 1,000 acre category, and again, what I want you to see is that some of these premiums are not as high as we had in previous years. Our premiums were, on average, a good 2 or 3 cents less than what our winners normally had. But like I said, it's been a very difficult year, fiber quality-wise, particularly late in the season. The cotton got a lot of rain on it, particularly November, and about the time that the cotton would stay out there in the sun, if we got any sun at all, and it would start to brighten back up, it'd rain again. So we had a very difficult time getting the cotton in a timely manner, and that affected particular color grade. On the more than 1,000 acres, the premium was 1.16. We had almost half this crop that went stable 38 or better. And in fact, almost 20% of it was staple 39 or better. And 52% had a strength of 30 or higher. Now what you can see is with that good staple length, which typically, and it does draw a very good premium, if the other characteristics, it's like I said, the quality is looked at in a bundle. If the other quality characteristics are off a little bit, it can bring your value down. But overall, given all the nominations and the problems that we had, this is good cotton to have a premium, particularly with the staple that it had. Staple very good. The winner here in the over 1,000 acre category is Whitehead Farms, Alan and Jerry Whitehead, and that was there in Turner County. And this cotton was ginned by South Central Gin, and again the county agent in Turner is Will Gay. Alan and them are here. Johnny Parker is here. Congratulations. I forgot I had my cheat sheets here. I hadn't been using them. That's unusual for me. Let's go to Region 2, which is over on the east side of the state, predominantly, and includes all the area up around Waynesboro, Statesboro, Midville, all that area over in there, coming down through Washington County, all that area over there, and coming down till we get up around Appling and so forth, Appling County. So this area over on the east side of the state. In the less than 500 acre category, this cotton had a premium of 3.35. 80% of this crop was staple 37 or better. Almost 70% of it was color 31. And again, I don't want to stress it too much, but given the problems that we had this year, for cotton to come in like this was very, very good. The average strength was over 29, and the average uniformity is a little over 81. And the winner in this category is Van Hebert, and he's from Jefferson County. This cotton was ginned at Midville Warehouse. I believe Jacob Sanford is here, and the county extension agent up there is Pam Sapp. Any of them here? Yeah, that's Pam. Y'all come on up. Thank you. Okay, in the 5 to 1,000 acre category, this cotton had a premium of 1.55 cents. 36% of the crop had a uniformity of 82 or better. 84% of the crop was stapled 37 or better, and 31% of it had strength of 29 or better. And the winner here was Kevin Cobb from Washington County, and this cotton was ginned at Bryant's Incorporated, and the county extension up there is Brent Alley. I believe Trevor's here, Trevor Cobb, and Mel Kirk here from Bryant's. Okay, I'll come on up. Congratulations. Okay, in the over 1,000 acre category over in Region 2, this cotton had a premium of 0.61 cents. 67%, about two-thirds of it was stapled 37 or better, and 15% of it, in fact, was stapled 38 or better, and 27% of it was color 31 or better. And the winner there was Rob Evans from Jefferson County, and again, this cotton was ginned at Bryant's. Y'all come on up again if you want to. Okay, let's move to Region 3. This is the blue area. You kind of see where that's highlighted there. Basically runs from Tift, Cook, and Lowndes counties, Brooks counties back over this way, and then goes over to Wayne County in that area south of there, over to the southeast part of the state. So this is Region 3. In the less than 500 acre category, this farm had a premium of 2.71 cents. 41% of the crop was stapled 37 or better, and 23% of it was color 31. Had an average uniformity of over 82. And The winner here is James Altman and Buck Altman from Tift County, and this cotton was Janet Sconyers, and the county extension agent here in Tift County is Scott Carlson. Congratulations to y'all. Okay, in the 500 to 1,000 acre category, seems like we call this guy's name every year. And I know a lot of cotton growers around the state, and he's consistently one of the best. He always gets nominated, and he always seems to win. We've been doing this program, like I said, for 9 or 10 years, and he's always in there. This cotton had a premium of 1.74 cents. It wasn't, you know, like I said, this wasn't cotton like we've had in the past year because of the weather we had. But 89%, almost 90% of this crop was staple 36 or higher. Uniformity was over 82, and in fact, 35% of it was uniformity that was 83 or better. And the winner is Kevin Shaw with River Bottom Farms, that's in Lanier County. And this cotton was ginned at VCT Gin Equipment. And the county agent there in Lanier County is Jeremy Taylor. Who's here from VCT? I know I saw Steve and who else is here. Okay. Steve, we're going to have to tell Kevin he's going to have to show up one of these times. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Again, what you see as we kind of go through this is that, that's why I wanted to make the comments I did about quality, is that, you know, given the circumstances that we went through this year, you know, this is good quality, it's excellent quality cotton. It's not, and you'll tell the growers, or you'll ask the growers, you know, this is not what they wanted sometimes. They had problems. But for the cotton to come out the way that it did, and to grade the way that it did under the circumstances is still very good. Okay, the greater than 1,000 acre category. This farm had a premium of 1.16 cents. 21% of the cotton was color 31 or better. 30% of it was staple 37 or higher. And 26% of it was strength 29 or better. The winner is Tim Crosby from Brooks County, and that was Gin at VCT Gin at Berlin. And I know I saw Justin Goodman here. Justin, come on up. And county agents there in Brooks County are Stephanie Hallfield and Ben Shirley. I know neither one of you can make it. I'll come on up. Congratulations, y'all. Okay, lastly, let's move over to Region 4. In the less than 500 acre category, this farm had a premium of 3.73 cents. The average staple was just a little over 37, and the uniformity over 82, and the average strength was 30 and a half. And the winner here was Grady Moore out of Worth County, and the cotton was ginned at Araby Gin, and the county agent there in Worth is Larry Barnum, and Todd Moore is here accepting for Grady. Y'all come on up, Craig. Craig Huggins. Comes Larry. Wait till Larry gets in there. Congratulations, Todd and Craig. Larry, thank you. Okay, in the 500 to 1,000 acre category, this farm had a premium of 3.45 cents. 86% of it graded staple 37 or better, and over half of it was color 31. And the average uniformity was almost 83. And the winner here was Craig Eubanks from Mitchell County, Westview Farms, and this was ginned at BCT at Berlin, and the county agent there in Mitchell County is Andy Shirley. Is Andy here? I don't know about, yeah, there's Andy. Okay, y'all come on up. I know Craig said he would not be here. Tell Craig we said congratulations. I know he wanted to be here, but couldn't. Okay, in the greater than 1,000 acre category, this is the last one. This cotton had a premium of almost 3.5 cents. 74% of it was staple 37 or better, and 62% of it was color 31 or better. And 68% of the crop was strength of 30 or higher. I believe these guys won the same category, the same award last year, and so they can go ahead and start lining the wall of the office there at the farm. The winners are Sapp Brothers Farm, Glenn and Gerald Sapp from Mitchell County, and again this was ginned at BCT at Berlin, and the county agent Andy Shirley. Y'all come on up. I believe I'm beginning to know how those deer feel when I shine the lights on them tonight. Oh, sorry. Okay, we got one more award. A few years ago, we started presenting an award for the best cotton out of all this cotton that we got nominated. And we called it the Best Cotton Award. So out of all the winners that you just saw, what was the very best cotton that was nominated this year? I've already told you some about this winner, but I didn't tell you all. And again, I want you to think back to what I told you about fiber quality and some of the 6 or 7 characteristics that kind of go into it. This cotton was over 90% color 31. This cotton had only 8% of it deducted for color. Color grades were a real killer this year because of the weather. But this crop only had 8% of the bales deducted for off color. almost 90% of this crop was staple 37 or better. And 3/4 of it was strength 30 or better. And had no deductions for extraneous matter. No trash, no seed coat fragment problems, nothing like that. So, again, given the growing conditions that we had, really, really an excellent crop of cotton. And he's already been up here one time, and I'm going to ask him to come up again. The winner is Grady Moore, and this cotton was ginned at Araby June. So I'll ask Todd and Chris to come up again. Come on, Chris. Thank y'all. Okay, again, before I turn it back over to Chris and Bayer, Josh, you want to say anything on behalf of Bayer? You good? Okay. Before I turn it back over to Chris, I again want to thank both Bayer Crop Science and the Georgia Cotton Commission for sponsoring these, and the gins for participating, and again to the growers who did such a fantastic job under really difficult conditions this year to produce the crop that we had and the quality that we had. Thank y'all very much.